Dresden is back.
Fuck yeah. Awesome. We have the Pale Lord joining us today. How's it going, my friend?
I'm well as can be. I'm going to play Valerian Turinska, a wizard of questionable morals and ways and pretty much everything.
Fantastic. Do you mind putting that name somewhere that I can copy it down? Yeah. No worries. We have Val back today, reprising her role as Pookie. How's it going, Val?
Hey, I'm still. I just woke up. I want to claim I just woke up, but I've really been awake for like 2.5 hours now. It's just I don't feel like it. I got really caught up on MasterChef this morning.
Wow.
But anyway, so hi, I'm playing Pookie once again. She is a dragonborn rogue who lost her best friend, the talking sheep, apparently. And yeah, she's just here to make coffee and make friends.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Coffee is a good first step.
It is, yeah. It's often the first step making friends. Fantastic. And we have Charlie Chop Shop with us today. How's it going, my friend?
Oh, so well. Thank you.
Glad to hear it. So you were playing, is it Chaldor today you'll be playing?
That's correct. Chaldor is so I never go human or fighter. So today I thought I would try both.
Nice.
And he is a hardened mercenary who gets whatever he wants, whether he has to persuade you or intimidate you. However, he cannot swim, and he is terrified of dogs.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm glad you let me know right at the beginning, because this is a very dog-themed.
A lot of
So-
He's
nodding.
quite dog-themed all day, really.
Most animals, in fact, he's not very comfortable with.
It's good. So we pick up exactly where we left off in the petting zoo of this world.
The swimming pool, yeah.
The
Fantastic.
aquatic animals section.
Fantastic. As myself, I will be playing Finbar the Bard. Finbar is a fantastic bard, perhaps the greatest of all time. And he's incredibly handsome on the outside, but incredibly ugly on the inside. He's a bit of a womanizer, but in fact, he doesn't really stop at women, pigs, men. Anything really. If it has a pulse, even if it doesn't. No. He draws the line at the undead. Finbar is up for it. And and yeah, he's a bit of a ne'er-do-well, a bit of a scoundrel, but a lovable rogue, despite being a bard. So yeah, I guess that's all of us for today. Also, a new feature which we're beta testing, top right-hand corner, updates as to what's happening in this scene. So I have currently the next Ice Age is coming, which will end the world. But if we're fighting something, I'll put up there what we're doing at the moment. So if you dive out of stream and dive back in, you can hopefully catch up with what's going on in the action. Let me know if you like that as well, or if it's not useful, then similarly let me know. Josh, however, shall we remind ourselves of what happened last week on Tricks of the Trade?
No.
All right. So let's... good game, everybody.
Cheers.
Last week on Tricks of the Trade, interesting stuff happened. I basically, I missed the week before. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I've been super busy of late, but I've missed you guys, and I've changed jobs so I can hang out with you guys more. That's how much I love you all.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. But yeah, that basically Will ran a session. Now, what happens when Will runs a session is he fucks everything up, and I have to beat this.
Guilty.
So he did it. He got a party lost and stranded in a temple, and then his internet blew up, supposedly.
Yeah, my internet blew up. Yeah.
Blew up. And the party needed rescuing. So a rescue party was sent. Unfortunately, Finbar was part of that rescue party, and therefore everything went tits up immediately. They found themselves being attacked by some giant flower fleshy thing that no one could identify that tried to eat the actual shit out of them. And then, glory, we had a viewer decision, and you guys in chat decided you really fancied swinging at some players. So people from chat were in the dungeon as cannibals, and we had about 8 to 12 people from chat who sent me descriptions of what they'd like to look like and stuff, and they utterly fucked the party up. Utterly.
I remember this.
Everything.
I'm like, oh yes.
Yeah, so it was glorious. But finally, the party made it into a huge It's actually, the name for it is a Dyson sphere, but that's a bit complicated. So basically, it's a big sphere that's hollow, and you can gravity is always beneath your feet. So basically, you could walk all the way up the edge of it, like Sonic the Hedgehog, and stand on a roof, and you would be absolutely convinced that you would be looking up instead of down, and it's all very complicated. And they went into a giant Rubik's Cube mass of doors looking for a map. This map leads to an island, and supposedly on the island is knowledge of how to turn back this ice age. But that's all a bit complicated. So right now, let's stick with something simple. Finbar, you materialize 10 meters above the floor in a certain someone's bar. Just out of curiosity, is it Dresden? No, it's... I'm trying to remember your name. What's the name of it? Tiefling.
It is Dresden.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dresden.
Dresden.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
Dresden.
You were
I did
right.
I did get it right.
Don't
yeah.
second guess yourself. Come on.
Yeah, but you looked at
You
me
are.
confused, and then I was confused, and I thought I'd lied to myself.
I was alone.
No. Have faith in yourself.
I have faith. So Dresden,
Mhm.
you're in your favorite drinking hole, where you probably spent a considerable amount of time, and sort of like in the middle of having a conversation with someone, and the table in front of you shears in half as a bard materializes about 10 meters in the air, like right at the top, and just hits the table and snaps it in half. Completely ruining your conversation.
I think I broke my table.
Right. Okay. That was totally ruining my flow. I was right up to the point where great granddaddy finally got those handcuffs off, and you.
What? How did I get here? Where? Oh, here again. Haven't we met before? Are you Dresden?
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
We didn't actually happen to meet that one time.
Oh,
But
okay.
I heard of you. I've heard of you.
Of course you have. I'm Finbar the Bard.
Yeah, and you've clearly heard of me because you already called me by my name. So
yes.
my reputation precedes me.
It's almost as if there's a floating name over your head.
Almost.
Everything's gone. I've escaped. Basically, the escape plan went according to plan, and I got out with just myself. Yes.
Okay.
As planned.
As planned.
Well, I mean, by your reputation, this clearly was a master plan, and everything went swimmingly.
I'm gonna pause you guys there, as this is quite an impression for someone who's new in the area to have as you open the door to your local tavern. You've been pointed in the direction. Pookie, you've been here a while, but there are new people arriving, and this is the scene you were greeted by. You open the door, and it just looks like a normal tavern, and it doesn't look too bad. As a wizard and a fighter stand there, sort of assessing the situation, and then a man materializes out of fucking nowhere and smashes a table in half. And apart from the people at the table, people just don't seem that surprised.
Yeah, like Pookie recognizes Finbar like right away. She's like, Finbar! Hey!
Oh, Pookie, it's good to see you. Don't mind the table.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, the table's broken.
Where'd you come from?
Pookie, is that
I gotta
a
fix
pet
it.
name? Is this a thing I shouldn't get involved in?
No.
Pookie kind of just is like, well, I was a pet at one time, and that's how I got my name.
You see, no, Pookie is not one of my sexual conquests. Merely a friend of mine. And I'm
too young to have sex.
Exactly. There are many legal reasons involved with that. Dresden, this is Pookie. Pookie, this is Dresden.
Hi.
I'm glad you're friends.
Yeah, me too. You're my new best friend. Like, I lost my best friend recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I just can't find him.
Right, that's a shame. I'm sure we'll find him around here somewhere. The others may be dead, but I'm fine.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Oh no, I escaped. Merely they were, they fell behind.
Oh.
We stick to the bardic code, He who
I didn't
falls
know there was a
behind.
code for bards. Do we need to have a funeral? Like, do we need to go get like a cleric for
the
memorial
bardic
service?
code
No.
dictates that so long as you get out alive to tell the tale,
That's all that
that
matters.
is justice. That
Oh.
is how
Guys.
it works.
Dresden knows.
Don't get involved. Just record.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, look at that guy.
New people, says
I'm-
Brian behind the bar.
Oh, Brian.
Brian.
He's cleaning down the bar.
Every time.
New people, wonderful. How are you doing?
Brian, give me an update. What's going on at the moment?
People are falling from the fucking ceiling. And he waves to Valerian, just says, I'm Brian. He's a small little red kobold wearing a shredded chainmail skirt. It was basically he got caught in chainmail armor and has not been able to, so he's just sort of had someone break the links. So he now wears it like a fashionable little mini skirt. And other than that,
one can see partially through the.
I know someone might be able to see my
Booty.
my fruit, as it were. And from underneath, he pulls a vicious slice of lemon. Wouldn't want anyone to be seeing this.
Vicious. Brian, that's not. Brian, where are your betters? Other than ourselves. Superiors.
Oh, I mean, that's a long list. A lot of people are better than me.
Yeah, superiors directly in command of you. Where is the Galgatron?
The Galgatron. Okay. I'm not entirely sure. She was
Right.
around. I think she found out. Apparently, she found out about what's it called? What's that thing you do with a pole?
Dance.
Yeah. So she decided she was going to make some money in the back room.
Well, I very much appreciate her new career choice. However, I can't help but feel that we need at least one more party member before we do anything else. Brian, I need another person.
You need another person.
Someone
Well,
useful.
There is. I don't know how to break this to you. There's someone awkwardly standing in the doorway.
Oh.
He looks to be a human and a fighter, but he looks like the sort of person who's not sure how to be a human or a fighter, as if this is something that is the first time he's
New to
pioneered
him.
it. New
He's
territory somehow.
A
despite-
virgin, if you will,
Yes.
Brian. I see.
I'm sure. Isn't that what you are?
No,
I
Brian.
recommend saying virgin to his face. Please.
You, virgin.
Yes? Wait.
Yes! We win the game! We win the game, chat!
Are you okay? Like,
Are you okay?
legit.
What the hell just happened?
Josh?
I've had a long day. I've had a really long
Someone clip that, please clip that.
Do we need to take this off you?
Please
Do we need to
clip
take this off you?
DM down.
Someone install a seatbelt for this man, please.
We get some ERP rip, chat.
Yes. Never mind.
Holy shit.
Oh, please clip that, I need that.
Well,
Oh, perfect time for a resub.
Hey, Will, it's been 8 months. Hey.
Distraction, quick. Oh my goodness.
You need medical attention.
I don't actually know.
I don't know anymore.
Which kind of doctor do you require?
Someone who specializes in whatever this is, psychosis.
Oh
Probably.
my goodness.
So
I need a bio break on that note. I'll be right back.
Finbar goes off to investigate.
I shout virgin and then go to the bathroom.
So
just in
Chaldor,
case he's tough. Yeah.
Chaldor kind of steps forward and says, "Virgin, my old colleagues used to call me the Impregnator."
I think I may have worked with your colleagues.
I doubt it. They're all dead now.
I just
That's-
hold up my
that's-
skeletal hand.
You know what?
at
Me
that
and you have something in common. All my friends are dead as well. He was
Ch-
zombie.
Chowder kind of looks over at what was his name, Brian?
Yeah.
And says, "I've been trying for an hour to figure out what the hell that is. You talk to this thing? It pours drinks for you? I'm too scared to drink something from its hand."
No, that's a keg.
That's
It contains
racist.
alcohol. It doesn't pour the drink. I pour the drinks.
It's not racist. It's beastist. I don't like beasts.
You don't like beasts.
In
Okay, well,
fact, and he kind of points at Pookie, says, "You look a bit like a beast as well.
I'm not a beast. I'm a girl.
If you
that
say so,
sounds
darling."
like a beast to me. Girls are scary.
So like I go up to Brian and I pull out of my sack something that belonged to an old friend, and I was like, I've been carrying this around. I needed to give it someone, and I hand him the sailor suit that Jeff once wore from my last adventure, and I figured it's like this. Yeah, like here you go, friend.
To
I just
me,
want to
never
get rid
had
of it.
clothes.
Huh?
I've never had. Brian is a free kobold. He gave Brian clothes. He just fucking smashes the bar to pieces. and runs.
At that point, Valerian would step over, as he is a human with long black hair, very pale skin, and as a matter of fact, also eyes that look more like black orbs than actual eyes, though with small gray lights in it, almost like pupil. And looks over to the bar and kind of scans the area as if there's any sort of expensive brandy or something. And basically just grabs the next best bottle. Well, I guess this is on the house then.
So glad I made another dragon friend happy.
Yeah, and if Brian's genuinely run off, I'll just salute him and just have another swig.
Brian runs out, but he hops half out the bar because he's trying to put on little sailor trousers and boots.
Please tell
he's
me there's a hat.
Of course, it's a hat. He literally would have spat in Pookie's face if she hadn't provided a hat.
Of course, there's a hat.
Don't someone.
Turn to Tiefling, 2 gold that he dies in the next hour.
We don't talk about.
You're
never
wrong.
talk about no hats.
He doesn't die.
And get upstairs.
Just saw that.
Do I need to get my pirate hat?
I will. I'll come back out of the lavatory and say, I don't believe
I get my drink.
I don't believe we met. And I go and shake Chaldor's hand. Finbar the Bard.
Finbar, well met, friend.
Aye. Are you useful? Can you kill things or stand in the way as other things kill you?
Aye, those are my specialties, mate.
Fantastic. We're going to get on like a house on fire, Chaldor.
What's it take, Finbar?
Oh, no, it's as simple as that. I just need fodder.
Fodder. We'll see who ends up being fodder, but I might help.
Good. Helpful fodder. In that case, I say we best see the Galgatron. She knows what's going on around here, and honestly, I've got no fucking clue. So, off to the pole dancing. I guess we'll have to go.
I know
Why
the
would
way.
anyone want to dance with a pole? It doesn't move.
Precisely, Pookie.
So,
Precisely.
Kind of pole.
you guys step into the back room, and as you look around, you see that there's a pole set up. There's some seating. It's all dark. It's all shady. There is a mini bar, but there doesn't appear to be anyone waiting it. And a voice via thaumaturgy says, "And now, entering the stage for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the beautiful, the ravishing." I actually can't read that out loud because there might be people who can hear. Nah, never mind. Just do your thing. And these curtains pull back, and Finbar, you were treated to the sight that you probably have been hoping for a very long time. As a leg comes round the corner, sort of round the curtain, and out from behind, sort of silhouetted by candlelight with a pole before them, steps that crazy old dude who
Oh
prophesies
God,
shit
no!
from-
Not you, no!
Where's the-
Are you on
This
about the
is-
naked guy from space that warned me
No,
about
no,
the
this
tulips?
is not the naked guy from space.
It was the second age guy.
Oi, it becoming of a second age as he.
I did a Michael Scott. No! Good God, no! No!
Stares blankly. Turns
And,
over to the boy. Could you hand me a fork, please?
No. What? Why?
I just want to stab my eyes out.
Oh, okay.
He just hands you some cutlery, and he comes out and he's
Or
just
maybe
like, and they said opening night would be quiet, but look at all you hungry folks. And he wraps his leg round the pole, and as he sort of bends back salaciously, the pole is just torn from the ceiling mountain. Collapses down onto the floor, just oiled up, glittered, semi-naked, pinned underneath a pole, and very recently, a very beautiful young lady wearing a very Jessica Rabbit-style red dress, flowing blonde hair that falls down her back, and the most impractical red high heels you've ever seen, steps out and just says, no, that was... Oh, I have company. Well, you can... I don't actually know his name, but you can just go away now. And he... Yep, that'll about do it. Right. And steps up and he takes the pole and he walks out with it. And she just sighs deeply and takes a seat ringside, we're going to call it. Because I have no idea what the proper term is.
And if there is one.
Sure you don't.
Yeah. Remember, Will, we have a deal.
Yeah. For legal reasons, we can't speak any further.
And here is the link to the adjustment size.
I like your dress.
She smiles and gives you a curtsy and just says, would you like one similar?
I didn't hear you. What?
Would you like one similar?
Simba.
would
I
like a
really like
size.
just.
Would you like a similar one?
Oh, I think my shoulders are too wide for it. But thank you.
That's okay. I know a fantastic tailor,
Oh,
especially one of our kind.
yeah. Okay, I'm down. Like I like pretty things.
And she nods and she takes out from a small clutch bag. See, I know all the lady things. Clutch bag. It's like a little.
Well,
purse,
clutches
yeah.
are about this big, but okay.
Yeah. But she takes it. It's a little, and she takes out a small piece of parchment and jots it down. An order for Pookie, and she says, "So, what can I do for you all?"
Oh, my favorite color is blue.
well.
Wait, what?
I'm
Oh,
not quite sure. How did I get here?
Chaldor grabs a chair and sits on it backwards and just flips a gold coin onto the stage and kind of.
I nod. I agree. I say, but before that, Galgatron, we're wondering what's going on around town. Is there any pressing matters or any quests which need to be undertaken by a band of adventurers? You see, well, I escaped. Do I have the map on me, Josh?
No. However, you are missing party members who.
Yeah. You see, I saved my party members who had the map. However, they're not here. So I wonder if you might know where I could find them, maybe?
Well, I suppose you could. There is that druid who just arrived in town. You could potentially ask. No, he probably wouldn't be able to. I tell you what, how about this? I'll do you a favor, and you do me a favor, Finbar.
Okay.
I can scout out the local area and take, well, I guess this is your rabble for the day, with me, and we can see if we can find any more of these portals that everyone seemed to materialize through. And,
Right.
well, then you can try and locate where your friends are. Maybe even make up a pattern as to where they all emerged.
Okay, and what do you need me to do in return?
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Mind making up your mind?
At some point, sure.
So, I'm writing you a blank check.
No, you're putting yourself at my mercy.
Chaldor kind of leans in at this point and says, "Look, darling, we have business to attend to. I'm sure you're tired of dancing. We can offer coin, and you don't even have to dance. Let's just hurry this along, please."
That's my friend like that.
Well, not
Those are
my
my
fault.
terms.
All right, I'll do it, but you should bear in mind that none of my creditors have ever been able to track me down.
I have seen you. I can provide scrying over time.
Don't do that.
Cles.
2 gold a day.
At
Two
that, I'd like
gold-
to walk over to Finbar because I've been milling around the minibar for a while, so I come over with 2 old fashions, pass him one, and go, "Could be worse. You could make a deal with the devil," and just dink my horns with my skeletal hand.
I nod. I say, "Better the devil you know, I suppose." All right, Galvatron, I accept your deal.
Well, you meet me out back. Can hardly do this in here. I'd
Right?
ruin the
No,
place.
totally.
And she looks at the the shattered pole and the broken chairs. And she sighs deeply. The pole dancing instruction class has not gone well. And yeah.
Valerian kind of looking over, waiting for. I could provide a mending spell.
Don't do that.
Is that going to be Finbar's word of the day?
Don't do that. So she goes she out back. She goes out through like a back staff entrance. She'll lead you guys out, and yeah, she's just sort of chillaxing there, waiting for you guys. But there's like quite a large clearing area.
Right.
It's yeah, this beautiful woman suddenly collapses onto the floor, and her dress seems to sort of stay there. And suddenly she begins to sort of pour out as if she's been vaporized or liquidated. And it continues to grow and take shape as she begins to form into
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
no a
Get out!
Get to the chopper!
That is not possible.
and
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
walks back in and demands the clothes, the boots, and the horse of the nearest person.
That's how we
And,
travel now.
And that's how she ended up wearing Brian's sailor outfit for the rest of this episode. But no, she melts down, and her clothing, her lovely red dress and heels actually seem to melt into her form, and swirling into form, you watch it swell and take shape as you are now faced with an adult red dragon.
I knew today was going to be a weird day.
I just dip on my old fashioned like. Fair enough.
You are much bigger now, Galvatron. We'll have
If
to.
only that worked for you.
Now, what's the next step, my dear?
Well,
I know a certain drow who would have loved that.
you now get to fulfill that fantasy of yours, Finbar.
The one with
This is probably be the only time you'll ever ride me.
the one with
Finbar,
the
Finbar,
jellies.
you're a dragon lover, eh?
More of a connoisseur. I dip my toes in the. Let's move on from that.
Oh, you did dip your toe. I wasn't quite sure if it had gone in.
Never
Y-
mind.
yes, the
Dragons and toes, huh? Who am I to judge?
yes.
Well, Rings can polymorph, so she could basically take any appendage she wants, and never mind.
The candle wax was of a sufficient viscosity to allow the dipping of toes. Anyway, let's.
It was a nice touch. It was a nice touch.
I know. Yeah, thank you.
And the feathers.
We don't talk about the feathers. And
I wasn't even there. We only just met.
Were they separate or still attached to the chicken?
There was no chicken involved.
A chicken in Finbar's bag just says, "I love you."
Shut up, you.
You
Shut up,
still
you!
have that chicken.
Whispering poison into my ear. Never mind. Yes, let's get on board the dragon.
I've heard of men being into cock, but not quite like this.
So a long, huge, leathery wing sort of folds down to allow you guys to walk a little unevenly up onto the ridge of this really quite fucking huge red dragon. People in town are still running and fleeing, and there are a couple of people who sort of just continue sweeping their porches because then they know. But if you don't know that you have an adult red dragon living in town, it can be a little scary. And
It's scary enough for me holding on to it.
well, don't hold on then.
Just grab one of the love handles.
The what?
The wings.
You are. Make me a deck save.
I'm trying to roll in Twitch chat. That's not a good idea.
Everyone will just...
That's me, I think.
Okay.
That one.
Could it have been any better?
Oh, apparently I'm in completely the wrong roll 20. I'm in Turncloaks roll 20. What's Turncloaks?
That works.
Launching. So, in fact, we're just like a couple of tweets away from releasing the first episode of Turncloaks only. Early, rather.
Right, guys, everyone, check that out.
Book. 2
But
tweets
yeah,
away.
No, can you do me a favor, Will? Can you roll 3d4 damage for
Yes.
yourself?
Oh,
And then
hey,
just-
I got that one to that as well. 4 damage is what I take.
Slather that all over you.
Oh.
As you get a tail to the face. She just literally like you just like grab hold of the love handles. There's a pause, a whistling sound, and the tail just arcs up like a scorpion and bitch slaps you.
At this point,
Probably deserved that
Conrad, Chaldor steps up and says, listen, miss, about the golden corn I threw at you earlier, I apologize. I meant no offense. I'm a bit taken aback.
You're a coward no more.
There's a sniggering sound that you can feel beneath you as
Is it
she's
Brian?
quite large, and no, it's a dragon laughing that you're currently on. It's not the most concerning feeling you've ever had, and with a great sound of unfolding leathery wings, she spreads them and she spreads them for you, and she takes flight, and you guys are sort of suddenly thrown into the air, holding on to spines along her back. And you guys are going to get very cold very, very quickly as you are about to ride a dragon through the sky.
Cookie's fine.
So chill.
Myko is flapping majestically in the wind.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
still trying to hold on to my old-fashioned in my skeletal hand.
I'll wrap myself
Everyone-
up.
Everyone give
One hand
me a deck save just while you, and be grateful that you spent your nat 1 or you've used up your nat 1.
Okay.
Oh my god, I have not used it up as another nat 1.
I will. I have to roll manually. I have my sheet not in.
Look at my fucking rolls. Nat 1,
dexterity it
1,
was.
1, 1. Fuck my life.
I had rolled a 5.
Okay, alright. What did everyone else
And
get?
5 times better than I rolled.
I got a 16.
17 for Chaldor.
Was
Okay.
it this or advantage? Never mind.
Just normal. You're right. So, oh god. So, Finbar, does anyone try and save Finbar?
My best
I guess I'm
friend.
falling myself, so no.
Say, I'll make a
Pookie.
grab for him. Oh, Pookie, go ahead.
What did you roll?
For my dex, a 12.
Yeah, Pookie, you managed to reach out and you are now holding Finbar. Just give me an athletics check to try and haul him back up. As Finbar, you slip from the edge and from beneath you, caught in a wind, everyone will catch what sounds like basically Galgatron chewing Finbar out, though not actually chewing on Finbar for once, which is nice for him.
She rolled a 20, not a nat.
20.
Oh,
Cool. So,
thank you, Pookie.
Pookie rescues you.
At this point, Chaldor pulls a rope out and throws it to them and says, "Tie yourselves off," and I tie it around my own waist as well.
Yeah. I thank Pookie. I say, if you weren't so terribly, terribly young, I would give you a hug.
Well, I still like hugs.
I guess the 5 falls as well.
No hugging allowed. Trust me. No.
So, like,
Okay.
Pookie just kind of picks up Finbar, like, as she rescues him, and just, like, sits him in her lap. It's like, here, you stay right here, and we'll be safe.
Like a teddy bear.
Very innocently, like a child, like a child, just like sits Finbar in her lap.
And I also get to roll a d10,000 thanks to Dom. Rate 5121.
Oh god, I know this list.
5121.
It's literally the best list.
I use it myself in my Sunday campaign.
Oh, nice. Target asserts that his allies have forsaken him. Nobody loves me anymore.
So other than Pookie, all of these people just let you fall to your death.
Dead to me.
I start reeling my rope back as fast as I can.
You're all dead to me.
I don't
Except
even know
Pookie.
your name.
Exactly. You don't even know who Finbar the Bard is. That is a crime in and of itself.
Apparently, he thinks people should know who he is.
Finbar, I have a
nobody-
drink in one hand and a dragon attached to the other. You can forgive me for not wanting to let go of either.
I give him suspicious anime eyes.
It's okay, Finbar, and she just like pats his head.
At least I have one true companion. Thank you, Boogie.
I thought about saving you. They always say the thought's what counts, right?
Suppose.
It crossed my mind.
I mean, generally that's how Finbar operates. So you kind of fall in with his own logic there. As the plotting, conspiring, and bitchiness continues, you guys find yourself moving quite quickly, and I'm gonna put you on where you are already on it. So I just need to move myself onto this map. Can you guys see the map? Yeah, there it is.
I see it.
New Halfland?
Yes, indeed. So you guys find yourself flying quite far. You fly over the forest marked with the little red square, which is where elves are known to. And you fly all the way across towards the mountain ranges. Now, these mountain ranges themselves seem to be relatively barren. They don't seem to have like settlements built along them. And then you sort of come around a corner and you see a large fortress almost carved into the rock face. And this has the typical, it's a dwarven style fortress. So the battlements, everything, the architecture just sort of screams dwarven. And there are these two huge busts of dwarvish men.
Busts.
Big busts, indeed. You are thrown to your death by your host. And
Until the bust.
yeah,
If I die on the bust, it's fine.
impact with bust. What I always wanted to go on my my tombstone. But yeah, there's this large sort of building, and it's got plenty of fires blazing, torches lit, and huge fire pits on the outside, and it looks as if there are people there. And the Galgatron sort of comes to rest maybe a few miles south, and within sort of visual distance where you can still sort of see what's going on. And she drops you down so she can actually talk to you and says, "You might wish to speak to the dwarves about this sort of thing. They have technology. It sounds like what you found would have been of interest to them. They may know more about these portals."
I see, the dwarves. Thank you, Galvatron.
They have the technology. They can make you faster, stronger.
They can
This is
rebuild
true.
us.
Well, they can, but Finbar, they won't.
Why?
You don't improve upon perfection, do you?
Ah, very good, very good. All right, let's go speak with the dwarves. Anyone here a dwarf?
Does anyone
I-
here
I
speak
could-
Dwarvish?
Valerian. Oh, wait, hold on.
Valeria doesn't.
No, he doesn't, but he can cast comprehend languages.
Ooh,
It's always one that I pick, but I don't know how many languages I'm allowed as an arcane trickster.
I mean,
you
I
get an extra one for being a
Oh,
rogue?
wait, hold on. Yeah, Valerian does have Dwarven, sorry.
Okay, so you have a translator in your midst if they don't speak the common tongue. The settlements the settlement you come from, back on the coast, from Realport, does not actually do any trade with the dwarves. In fact, the dwarves of this land are so far an unknown factor, and they sort of point you. She points you in the direction. She says, "I will wait here for half a day."
When you say unknown factor, as in most of us have never met one, or just
No one from Realport has ever met or traded with the dwarves native to this land.
But we've heard lore or tale of dwarves. I'm
You would have
assuming.
heard that the dwarves were the original explorers. There was specifically one dwarf very, very long time ago came across on an airship, which was like, I mean, it's one of the only airships ever created. And he came over, and supposedly he was so obsessed with being the first one to see this new land, and he wanted the credit so badly that he refused to bring anyone with him. So instead, he brought mechanized companions. He brought shield guardians and dwarven centurion sort of style people upon his airship, and he was gone for a very, very long time, and supposedly like conquered the land, did all these fantastic things, wrote his memoirs, claimed all the territory he wanted, and then came back and allowed some of his kin and a few choice people over. So the dwarves have been here longer than anyone else, apart from the natives of this land, who could be anyone really.
Sounds like a good chap.
Indeed. All the glory for himself. Finbar would probably get along with him. So,
Either
yeah.
that or they would hate each other.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
Hmm.
Can't imagine why anyone would hate Finbar. So yeah, you guys are
Exactly.
dropped off on this slope, and you have a sort of before you this long, treacherous-looking path towards the dwarven stronghold that is in the side of the mountain.
Don't think the dragon could have dropped us off any closer, eh?
No, she's not one to be very useful, but that is her way.
Well,
Let's...
I mean, people would probably freak out if she just landed on top of them.
I suppose.
Probably.
I suppose all the people in the village were freaking out when she arrived.
Mildly.
I don't understand why. She's very pretty.
Just a dragon.
Nothing commands respect more than showing up on the back of a dragon.
Very true, very true. I suppose we'll have to make the hike, though.
I do know one thing, and that are ballista bolts through the chest of that dragon.
Right.
Aye, well, let's hike it then.
Let's, I'll perform a haiku
Daft
whilst
boy.
we go.
Hike who?
Dear
If
God.
you really want to show up on the back of the dragon, I guess if you need a piggyback ride.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
literally gonna suggest that.
No hugging, no hugging, no piggyback rides. My lawyer has been very explicit on this matter.
Pookie, let's both keep our dignity for one day, hey?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's still a thing that other people
what
care
dignity?
about.
Charlie,
Like,
you're in the wrong game.
I don't understand how this would lose dignity. Helping a friend in need is important.
It's time to see the dwarves now, Pookie.
True. We should go and not lose what none of you had before.
It's time to see the dwarves now, Pookie.
Okay, I like dwarves. I've only met a few in my life, and they're usually intoxicated. I mean,
Right, yes. No, that stereotype is right. Very true.
I will use prestidigitation to summon up more alcohol.
I,
too young to
If
drink.
prestidigitation worked that way,
it disappears.
Oh fuck!
no
right,
one,
sorry.
it would
Well,
be
I can use it to conjure up the thing in my pocket.
Yeah, I gotta start heading off to the dwarves.
You guys,
I follow him.
Yeah. You
Yay,
guys start
dwarves!
heading along a treacherous path. And as you do, you sort of realize as you get closer that this stronghold has seen better days. It's crumbling in places. The fires themselves are all fresh and burning, but they actually look like they are roughly placed around. And instead of being made of like stone, instead of them sitting almost like stone chalices, roaring, like the ones you see on top of the battlements, a lot of these are actual campfires and stuff that have been put up. And as you guys approach, you come at it from the south, and there is a proper road. This road has been torn apart by the elements, but it's there, and it leads to a huge gate. And up top the gate, on battlements, you can see figures moving around. And finally, you draw some attention, and it seems as if they've seen you coming. As there's very little cover apart from like trying to cling to the side of a cliff face. And it would appear that you have drawn a little attention. So, what's the plan of sort of going forth with these?
Pookie waves.
I think we should, yes, shout to them, hail them.
I agree. If they should know that we are friends. So they don't have a white flag. I had a friend Dido. She used to have one, but
I have a mage hand that I can.
But then it went down with her ship.
I believe she left that outside her door.
We are.
hey, rise again, brother. Yes.
I want to shout at
Yeah,
the
just
gate.
shout at them.
Hail, dwarf lords!
There's a long pause, and finally a voice calls back, "What do you want?"
That's all I have. You guys take it from here.
We're looking for our friends, aren't we? We're looking for a party of adventurers that might have gone missing in this area.
There's a long pause, and you better come inside and explain that one to us.
I think he wants to
And,
have a word.
There's the doors suddenly creak open. You can hear bolts being removed and reinforcements. And yeah, these huge doors, they actually slide into the wall themselves, revealing that they are linked together by some pretty vicious-looking spikes. You probably wouldn't want this door slammed on you. And,
Like a
yeah,
portcullis sort of thing.
Yeah, but instead it sort of goes into the walls. They seem to sort of mesh together. On the other side, you can see a courtyard with fire burning. You can see what looks like people with swords, and they appear to be fighting, but they appear to be fighting each other not to draw blood. It looks like a training camp of some sort.
Okay.
And there are definitely, just so you know, there are definitely archers and soldiers on the battlements, but other than that, you seem to be being welcomed in.
I turn to Pookie and Dresden. I say, "You two, I've heard tell that dwarves do not take kindly to strangers. Maybe you should stay towards the back of the party."
Maybe you should fuck off. I was waiting for it.
Shelter is Jason Statham.
The most filming Mitchell of comments.
Oh, don't worry. I have an icebreaker of sorts. A certain story that typically
No,
sets me in good stead with most people.
don't
so
do
I think
that.
that's fine.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. Instead,
What are we supposed to do?
my friends, if there is one thing which I have become good at over the years, it's ingratiating myself with people that I have no right to be friends with, like Pookie. And so I will take the lead on this one, and back me up, Dresden, if there's any speaking that needs to be done, or storytelling that needs to be done.
I've got all drinking.
Drinking.
I think we
Yes.
can do all of those things.
Yes, indeed. Okay, dwarves. It is good to wait. No, I know. Dwarves. How's it going? I'm speaking dwarvish, in case you're wondering.
Is this an LOLO situation? If you say it in their accent.
In their accent, yes. Speaking of language, yeah. Dwarves, greetings. 'Tis I, Finbar the Bard. I can't speak dwarvish.
You see a very tall dwarf standing before you, sort of like shadowed in the gate, and he is wearing sort of like typical dwarven helmet, very military focused.
Classic
very
dwarf.
little not much embellishment at all. But he seems to be drawing same eye level with you. And as you approach, he's wearing dwarven plate armor. He has a really nice set of battle axes, one on each hip, and a huge shield across his back. And you approach and you see that this man is quite clearly too large to be a dwarf. And the armor looks like it's been modified to fit his larger frame. And he says, "Dwarves. Right. You're obviously new to these parts."
I heard that there were dwarves in the area. Is that not so?
Is
Why-
this not dwarven architecture?
"Yeah, it was. Look, come in, you're letting all the hot air out," he says, as snow falls on the mountainside.
Okay.
Before we come in, I want to say, do you keep hounds?
"Yeah, of course."
What did I say about talking?
Perhaps I shall wait outside.
"Well, you probably freeze to death or be eaten by wolves."
Come in, it's just a few dogs.
I guess.
Puppies?
I reluctantly follow the party.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've
spooky.
got
Puppies.
pups. I mean, you can chance it out there with the bears and the hyenas and all the other
And the hyena bears as well, don't forget those.
hyena bears. The
And the
bear.
bear hyenas.
The
No
hyenas.
such thing as bad dogs, just bad owners.
This is true.
What does
This
that
is-
say about you, Pookie? What does that say about you? And I pat her sadly on the head.
What about bad sheep then?
That is also a viewer decision, Josh.
There are no bad sheep.
VD time, boys.
The Royal Secret Pookie Association frowns upon Finbar. The RSPCA for sure.
I'm saying that she had a good owner.
RSP.
That's not an acronym. I fucked that up entirely.
No,
But
you didn't,
anyway,
But I
a
appreciate
viewer
what you were going for.
A viewer decision. So,
Yeah, let's do it.
ladies and gentlemen, there are some interesting things here, but unfortunately, there is a distinct lack of dwarves. Dwarves have not been seen around these parts for a very long time, and the people occupying it are most definitely not dwarves themselves. But there is some piece of technology that's been left behind, a minor wonder that's been left behind by the dwarves that needs repairing. So what is it that this fortress is currently trying to repair?
Fantastic. So what technology have the dwarves left behind?
Hmm.
Underneath that line in chat, my friends.
And he waves you in, and behind you, you hear the gates come to a close, and he takes his helm off and looks you all over, confused, and just says, "So, What are you all doing up in the reaches?
We're looking for some friends of ours.
Right.
Of course.
You're looking for dwarves.
No, we're not looking for dwarves. No, we're not.
You're
That's not what we're doing. I think we're looking. Don't do that. We're looking for. We're looking for friends. One of them.
Maybe it just blows up.
One of them's a drow.
Right.
The other one, yeah, I know. But she was fairly attractive, so it made up for it. There was someone called Conrad. There was someone called Royce. There's a band of them, mostly men. One of them was Celts. A roguish type.
Okay. Well, he sort of looks around, shrugs, and just says, "We don't really get many visitors up here." And
Right.
well,
Did you get them as visitors? That's all I'm really asking. I don't need your immigration figures or tourists, anything like that.
no, because if we got them as visitors, they generally don't leave.
Right.
This is a prison.
Gotcha.
I just
Cool.
glare over to Finbar. Oh, did you?
Cool. Good chit chat. Good powwow. Any ideas?
Chaldor pipes up and says, "A prison where you train the prisoners to use swords."
These are guards.
There's a guards, Chaldor. They're the ones that. Chaldor, I don't know if you've seen a prison.
Arm all of the prisoners and train them to fight openly,
Should
right
have
by the
stayed
gate.
at the
Well-
academy.
Well, I have yet to see a cell.
Well, you've made it through the front gate. This is a mountain fortress. So
Right. So it's kind of in the
how
mountain,
it
I
works,
suppose.
yeah, there's
Right.
more to it. So basically, like, imagine it like a box.
Like an
There's
onion.
stuff in the box, like an onion. It's entirely an onion.
Right.
There are layers to this facility.
What about cake? Everybody loves cake.
No.
Hmm.
More like parfait.
Ah,
Parfait's delicious. So, like parfait, there are many different layers to this facility. But yeah, so no, this is a prison. Only prison in the New Halfland, I think.
Right. So, are they here as prisoners? Perhaps have you imprisoned them for crimes that they undoubtedly have committed?
Or when did they go missing?
The week before last, on a first day about 7
We
p.m.
haven't
Eastern.
had any new prisoners in the last 2 months. I tell you what,
Right.
though,
Okay.
we did have something a little strange happen.
Okay.
Well, we had a breakout.
A breakout of presumably prisoners, not like a rash or acne or something
well,
like that.
we had that. We've had that as well.
No, I was yes, I was gonna.
Around here.
I was gonna say I do have some Clearasil for you if you need it.
Fantastic. He takes it and stuffs it down his trousers. The whole bottle.
The whole bottle.
Chaldor pulls out a hanky and holds it over his mouth, looking around nervously.
Hmm.
Why are you so weird, Chaldor?
You know the problems with my crotch. Why are you covering your face? What were you expecting out of
if
this?
anything, cover your crotch.
I heard the word outbreak, and then this man shoved something in his pants. I would say I'm not the weird one here.
It's not contagious unless you allow it to be. Anyway, tell me about this outbreak of prisoners, please.
It happened about 2 weeks ago, actually. We were minding our own business, and suddenly one of the guards comes back off patrol past the cells, and all the prisoners in that cell were gone. None of the doors had been tampered with.
I know what this might be. You see, it might have been a portal. They seem to be arriving. It seems fairly obvious, right? But they seem to be arriving more and more often. In fact, only today I fell through a portal, and the table is broken. It will be fixed, I'm sure. But yeah, I am sure it's a portal. Is Is there magic which is allowed within the prisons? Is there an anti-magic field?
No,
Then,
that would take a lot.
right,
We don't
yes.
have many spellcasters.
Gotcha, yeah.
Oh, in that case, maybe I can provide some help.
Don't do that. Now, the...
For just a small fee.
No, he's lying. The prisoners most likely
You
got
call
out...
me a liar one more time.
Excuse my friend here. We're looking to...
You know, it's like a crowd are sort of gathered round.
Could we see the room from which they escaped?
Yeah, I guess so.
The only reason I say why is because my learned friend here, gesture towards Valerian, might be able to trace the magic from it to where it might have led them.
Right.
I'm making things up.
Well, he nods and he turns around. And he says, "I'll have to check with the guard commander."
Of course.
And he turns around and just, Bill.
God damn it.
Oi! Big,
Yes, Ted.
big ginger bearded man comes over and just, what is it? He just says, I want to have a look at the cell. That one, apparently, the really squishy looking one. Bit stuck up, keeps looking down his nose at everyone.
That's me, hello.
No, the one who don't.
Oh, that's him. Yes.
Yeah. So he's one of those spell casting types, and he reckons he might know what happened to our missing prisoners. And Bill sort of, all right, I suppose I can show you to the cell. The rest of you lot coming as well.
Yes, please.
Why not?
All right, and he marches you down through a central opening, which has huge doors that are open, and into a corridor. And inside, the sconce is lit, and it's actually very warm immediately as you come in. And you come out into a large hall where guards are actually seem to be wrecking. People are chilling out. It looks like it's a feasting hall, but people have like got bunk beds set up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like there's maybe somewhere in the region of 50 to 60 men here.
Wow.
But a lot of them are currently asleep and minding their own business. And you see it's mostly the left side, as if they sleep in shifts. And he takes you through and he just sort of says, try not to wake any of them. And gets to the door at the other end, opens it up, and it leads into a corridor. And one end is just rubble. Like, literally, if you go left, you've got about 4 foot and then just rubble. And he says, hooks his thumb and just says, we're still trying to dig bits out of this place. Took us long enough to clear the courtyard. They're just down here. And he leads you down to a series of chambers. And these rooms, to be clear, are quite clearly not prison cells.
Right.
All of the metal bars and everything that have been put in place afterwards. They look like they're just bedrooms or storage rooms or something. They're just plain empty rooms. And some of them actually seem to have a degree of plumbing. They have sort of basins to wash in, and one even has a bath that apparently has sort of like taps. So there's a real variety of stuff, but you will hear people banging on the doors or people arguing in cells, and finally he gets to the last cell in the corridor before the corridor is again blocked off with rubble, and he opens the door with a set of keys, and inside there is a large room, maybe 30 foot by 30 foot, plenty of room inside, and it is almost entirely barren apart from one large set of cots, two bunks that are both bunk beds mounted against either wall, and even like the bedding, everything is gone. So it's an incredibly barren sort of room, and he sort of roughly pushes Valerian inside and just says, "Right, here you are. So,
Thank you.
Very well.
Do your work.
Can I turn to our escort and say, might we have a minute alone with the cell?
he nods and just says, yeah, but I'm gonna be standing at the other end of the corridor.
Sure, sure. We'll call if we need you.
Right. Don't go tampering with any of the other cells. And he wanders off.
This is a lot nicer cage than what I used to live in.
Okay,
Anyway.
We're triggering her PTSD. Quick.
I learned more just then than I thought I should.
I agree.
I didn't cage her, by the way. I didn't cage her. No.
So we should.
Not even once.
Searching the cell itself for any means of runes, teleportation, or maybe things that might hint to a tunnel or something. So I'm going to take a general look at everything.
Give me an Arcana check. And,
Okay.
The rest of you guys, if you're looking around, you can give me investigation checks.
Alrighty.
24.
24.
I got a 15.
23 for an investigation.
Gentleman's 15.
17 for me.
14 as Pookie just like lifts a cot over her head to look underneath it and then put it back down.
So yeah, Pookie, you lift the cot. You find a cot. You find the bottom of a cot. If you lift it up, underneath it is floor. If you move it aside, there's a wall there. You're doing some solid work.
This is a room that people slept in.
Just like pressing your hands against the walls, just like, yep, they're there.
Can I specifically investigate the bars and gate and locking mechanism for the cell?
Absolutely. Finbar, what are you investigating?
I don't rightly know. I think I want to look on somewhere other people aren't looking, like the ceiling or something like that.
So Finbar just sort of looks up. He walks into the room.
Into the middle distance.
Yeah. And he stares at something that only Finbar can see.
I smile to myself. I see.
And if I like Finbar's found maybe something out of place in the ceiling, but it like moves with his vision, and he's just got like one of those spots on his eyelid.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Looking around like there's something moving in here, some sort of creature. So Chaldor, you're looking at the locking mechanism. Did you say?
And the gate.
Yeah, you come over to the door. It's a proper door, but it's quite heavily bolted. You get the feeling that this door has been taken off and turned inside out. So they basically put it back on, but they've taken the hinges. You can see where the hinges were removed, and it now bolts from the outside as opposed to the inside.
Just as a modification to turn it into a cell.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very simple modification. You look at the bars and you can see that there are bite marks on the bars. Not like teeth bite marks, as in bites from maybe a saw, maybe a blade, something. They have not got very far. It looks like there was an attempt to break out of here, or maybe it's just badly crafted metal that was, all they had, and they didn't put anything in. But these bars, sort of, you give them a flex, they don't budge.
Okay. I want to turn to the party and say, well, he's right. They definitely did not get out through any normal means of prison escape. These bars are steadfast.
Then it can only be magic. Valerion, do you see anything our eyes do not?
Well, and I checked room general.
You get a feeling, Valerian, that there's something around the room. There's like a humming sound, and you sort of feel it. You can almost taste it in the air. This electricity, as if there's quite a lot of energy in the room, or it's built up over time. And actually, believe it or not, Finbar, staring at the ceiling, will actually spot a thing.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Because just by sheer fluke, Finbar did something reasonably productive. As you look over into the corner of the room, and you can see something that looks like it's hanging from the ceiling. It's tight, like it's very, very small. But it's there, and you can see what looks to be a rope, maybe about half a foot, just hanging from the corner of the room.
Ah. I just kind of grin to myself.
Hang on a minute.
See. That is smart.
I point. Rope. They used a rope.
They used a rope.
They do it with ropes. Yep.
I could burn it down.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. No.
Shall we climb it?
We
and
should
see
climb
where
it. We
leads?
should follow it and see where we can find them.
I'm quite sure what we find, but yes, of course. You ahead.
After you, Finbar.
Of course. Who better than I? And is it like a narrow crawl space I'm going to be going through once I get up there?
It leads directly into the ceiling, a solid ceiling.
Right, I won't be able to do that because that's a ceiling. Unless that's an illusion.
Trust me, you will be able to.
Valerian, is it an illusion?
No, it is not.
Okay, then how will I be able to go through it?
Because, well, the ceiling is still there, but the rope will lead you through the ceiling.
It's like
Trust me.
like some kind of portal.
Yes.
Okay, and I
That's
jump up
trippy.
and I'm sick of these ladders of illusions in them, and
You grab hold of the rope, and as you're sort of hanging on, the rope slips.
not
and,
elven rope, damn it!
More of it falls through. As it turns out, it's about maybe 50 foot long, potentially. As it begins to fall, but
That's
it
a 50-foot long
comes
rope.
taut. So you've now got like 30 foot just dangling into the room. And very heroically, Finbar, sort of as you sort of sprawl to the floor, having like grabbed hold of this, a man lands on you. As you guys watch as the space that the rope sort of seems to sliver through a very tight portal suddenly stretches, and from it drops down a man. He's an elf, or a half elf, you'd imagine. He's wearing resplendent clothing in a similar ridiculously gaudy fashion to Finbar himself. Everything is green and gold. He carries a rapier, and he sort of lands triumphantly on Finbar and just says, "Ha!" and draws his rapier.
Alan Partridge. Aha! Knowing me, knowing you. I look aghast. What? Who? Hello.
He's drawn his rapier, did you say?
Yes.
I draw my
I do
rapier in
the
return.
I do the same thing, but
Aha!
with a bottle in my other hand.
And
I'm looking very Jack Sparrow.
he points the rapier down at Finbar, who is currently standing on like a surfboard. Even as Finbar sort of draws his own rapier, and he puts the tip of his rapier just against Finbar's throat, and he says, Now, let's not do anything rash. We wouldn't want to spill your friend's blood all over the cell. Now,
But he isn't my friend.
No, I'm not.
Please,
I'm not
Morgan.
his. I'm not his friend. I'm only her friend.
I want to take my great axe off my back and just kind of drop it to the floor next to me and say, "Hey, no problem here, friend. We can talk about this."
Right. Well, here's what's going to happen. We're taking this one hostage, and we're leaving this place. And
Honestly,
That's
you
the-
don't want to take me hostage. No one's gonna come and get me. Honestly, if I were you, I'd take Pookie.
What?
She's
which one's
she's that
he
one.
looks at him,
She's
which one's Pookie?
she's young and adorable, and people like her.
The scaly one.
Oh!
The 6'1.5" tall dragon just raises her hands like, I'm Pookie, but I don't know how I feel about being kidnapped. Why am I being kidnapped?
It'll just be like before Pookie. Also, Follow On donates £12, 4 critical successes, a Follow Josh, Fear the DM. Thank you, Follow On. I guess.
Oh, bollocks.
So he turns around and just says, "Come out, boys!" And from behind him drop down a couple of individuals. There was a gnome who falls down in clothing that just swamps him, like robes that fall down, a hat, like a great wizard's hat that just falls over and seems to be constantly getting in his face, lands in your midst and sort of like hoists up his robes and scurries over to meet his friend. And there is also a woman who drops down. Pookie, she's bigger than you. She's built more than you. She's an orc.
Oh.
She drops down and just sort of awkwardly waves. Hello.
I awkwardly wave back. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You're kidnapping me.
Oh, well, that's nice. We were worried it would be someone big and hairy and ugly.
Oh, he's outside at the end of the corridor.
Right. Okay. So, tell him, says the guy standing on Finbar. First of all, Pookie, you come over here. Otherwise, we have to kill this one.
Yeah, do it, Pookie.
Is the rope still...
She just walks over and she's like,
Right.
okay.
Wait, kill the one on the floor or the one outside?
No, we're going to kill this one if you do anything, and then we'll kill her as well if you do anything further. By the way,
she side eyes you.
Classic move.
he extends a hand, just says no hard feelings. Name's Partridge, apparently.
In a pear tree?
Yes, it is.
Off Norfolk Digital. Damn it,
I like Christmas.
Well, Pookie, you're gonna have a good time. It's always Christmas with these people.
It is indeed. It's like he knows me. He gives Finbar a dubious stare as if...
I give him a doobie in return.
You give him a doobie.
You give me one dubious, I give you one doobie.
You've had that the whole time, Humphrey Bogart.
He goes as green as his clothing, but he doesn't choke. And he says, right, now we have that out of the way. I need to be outside immediately because I'm freaking out here. So he sort of steps off Finbar, pulls him up, and the orc sort of comes over to Pookie and just says, I don't really want to, like, I'm supposed to with the sword, but it's dangerous, and I don't want you to get hurt. So just don't run away, please.
Okay. What's your name?
Yan.
Yan, that's a really nice name. Did your mom give you that?
My name is Jan Ehrlich. Sorry. I had a flashback from several seasons ago.
They didn't teach me about these things in the academy.
And who are these 2, 3 with you?
These are my friends. I met them earlier today before we rode here on a dragon.
That's cool.
So it was really cool. It was nice. We had a really cool breeze while it happened. The bard almost fell off, but it's okay. I protected him with my lap.
The Partridge turns to you, Pookie, puts a hand on your shoulder, sort of holding the rapier out, puts a hand on your shoulder and just said, you said you rode here on a dragon.
Yeah, like, how else are we supposed to get here?
I know, that's how I get everywhere. Literally everywhere. I don't get out of bed without a dragon.
Oh, what's your dragon's name?
Awkward silence.
You
do have one, right?
It's in. Of course, I have a dragon.
May I insight check this dragon talk?
You can absolutely.
You need to.
All right, let me do that. Real
Please
fast.
please
Also,
not
like-
want to believe it.
An opposing charisma roll?
It's just be an inside check to believe.
He seems to have a dragon.
Just gotta believe.
And
Sir, you do not have a dragon. Don't be lying to me like that.
yeah, no, he don't have no dragon. But he's just, well, I do. It's just not here right now because I had to leave it at the dragon shop.
Chaldor leans in and says, "Seems legit."
No, it's not.
Indeed.
He's lying.
Well, No, it's not. It's just we're having.
Can you get on with the
scales
abduction,
check.
please?
Anyway, yes. Sorry.
You're not really good at this.
You went
whole
to kidnap
threatening,
her.
escaping prison
Indeed.
thing.
I would like to pick my great axe
James,
back up off the ground.
This is just unprofessional. I'm done. The gnome comes over towards Dresden, and you can see this hat, essentially, sort of like a traffic cone, moves towards you.
Right.
Wearing sort of these really drab, sort of grey robes, and it sort of pulls the brim, like folds the brim back, squints at you, and just says, "Is that? What are you drinking? What's in there?"
Oh, this. It's just whiskey.
Boss. He's a hi, fine. You're
Me?
also a prisoner. Yes, you.
Because I have the
he
alcohol.
likes to drink. Because he likes to drink.
Does he like
Sorry,
to-
sorry, Dres. They've got two of you now.
If I get you drunk, I have some stories to tell.
Fantastic.
You
We
might
have
want
a
to keep me
long
around.
journey. I like it. Bring him over here. And the gnome just sort of grabs you by the ankle, sort of like.
I just started walking before he even tried to grab me.
So the gnome is now sat on your foot and is riding you back over, just like, got him, boss.
I rest the bottle on his head.
It entirely it just dents his wizard hat, and he sits there, and you watch as from underneath a very long curved straw just begins to reach up, starts raising it up.
I take the top off for him. Like, I'm perfectly fine with this happening because it's just so
You
bizarre.
what?
I'm perfectly fine with this happening because it's so bizarre. He's pulled out a straw.
Yes, but what did you say?
I'm perfectly fine with this
No,
happening.
before
I
that.
take the top of
I
the.
thought you said I take my top off for him. I'm perfectly
take my
fine with
top
this
off.
happening. It's
Take it off.
I understand the confusion now.
Let me
My
just find this charmed person. Maybe we can make this happen.
I
May I-
don't understand.
I mean, yeah, okay.
And
Chaldor busts it, kind of breaks in the conversation and says, "Look, I know you're thirsty, friend, but let's strike a deal because our hairy friend at the end of the hallway will be back any minute."
right. Well, how about this? You distract him in some sort of heroic fashion, and whilst you probably die, we will run and tell tales of your heroic victory this day.
Will you give us back our dragonborn?
Sure. If you survive, you can have your dragonborn back, no problem.
So Pookie just wants to know, and she says it like that.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this whole kidnapping plot? Can't we just say that you guys are our friends and that we found you?
No, see, we were hoping when the portal appeared it would lead somewhere useful, but really it just led into sort of an empty space. So we decided we'd hide there and trap the portal open.
Okay.
Well, we found a load of stuff.
So you
on
were the guys that were in here before.
Yeah, this is a prison break as well as a kidnapping.
I like the double. I like that. No. Very
No,
interesting.
so do I.
Valerian,
Sort of
I've
be
had-
ambitious, guys.
Gotta respect
I've
that.
had trouble with the law before, so I'm perfectly fine with how this is done.
Valerian kind of leans forward.
Fantastic.
You know that we are in no way affiliated to those upstairs, so they might just don't give a shit about us if you kill any. And they will
Oh,
just
do you not work here?
no.
No.
Oh,
No.
At that point, how
Yeah.
tall were the people that actually worked here? Were they dwarf of
no,
any
no,
shape?
no.
Or
none of
they
them
were
are dwarves.
human
Just-
size?
Yeah. mostly
Okay,
human elves.
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self
Mm.
and try to remember what one of them looked like in the mess hall that was
Roll me a-
as
roll
I
me a history-
walked past.
roll me a
oh,
history
oh.
check.
History.
Oh,
Ooh,
no,
that might not be great.
kid.
Aha!
Holy shit. Literally, you.
This is
you
why-
remember-
Damn.
He rolls nat 20s on shit like this.
you remember a guy perfectly, and if you want to try and morph into him, you absolutely can.
I turn to the guy who seems to be in charge of them lot and just goes, better.
No.
This guy works. This guy works here.
Oh, okay, that makes
Right.
sense. Because
Yeah,
that
I
guy
did-
is fuck ugly.
Well, I didn't know if he was one of your wardens or guards or something.
I don't know who he is, but he's fuck
well,
ugly. But if he
he
works
works
here,
here.
fantastic.
Yeah. There you go.
And
Now you can use me to get out.
Partridge gets up, sort of steps off of Finbar, extends a hand to help Finbar up, and
Thank you, sir.
sorry about that. Assumed you worked here.
God,
Don't know
no.
why. You've got too much style for that. So, what's the plan here? We're going to take this one hostage and pretend he's like a fucking guard or something.
Right.
And,
Mm-hmm.
okay, right. Why are you lot here?
We came looking for a group of lost companions. We thought you might be them.
Why did they get arrested for something or?
Well, they might have done. They are scallywags. There's one of them's a drow, you see. Tends to get arrested a lot because of the color of her skin.
Yeah. Racial profiling, man. It's
Right.
terrible.
Right. So yeah, you don't.
lay a hand on the elf. Yes, indeed. I mean, it is really hard to kind of pat his back. It's really horrible, and I tried to sleight of hand him. You can just, if he has a purse or something like that on him.
Yeah, roll me
God,
a sleight of
no.
hand.
Why?
Hold on. There it
This
is.
could be really good or really bad.
Really bad.
I wonder which it will. Oh, okay, thank God.
How much gold do you have upon yourself?
I mean the elf.
Yeah, how much
not-
gold do you have?
Let me check. Give me a second. I have, I think, something around 120.
Okay.
Nice.
Noble background?
No wait. Hold on, that's wrong. No, that's just 12.
Yeah, that seemed like a lot.
Sorry, I keep forgetting because 120 in silver.
Yeah. Okay, right. So yeah, you managed to pocket. He's got a coin purse, and he has seven silver pieces, or like small change. Essentially, it adds up to about.
Still gold. It's still money.
And at the same time, I'm going to spend a nat 20 as he takes yours. As you both do exactly the same. And you have more money. So it's just like, absolutely. You
Slip your hands into each other's pockets.
Do I even notice that?
No,
Nat 20.
20. But you lose 7 gold, and he's just like, absolutely, no problem. Yeah.
I stole his money.
Right, chaps, shall we organize some sort of fake prisoner transport then?
Right. Yes, good idea. Why don't I talk to the guy down the end of the line? He's a guard, and we can try and get him. I don't know. Maybe we can say that
Well, you could bring him down here.
we could bring him down here, and then we can just kidnap him. Good idea. I say, guard! I need your help, guard.
You hear a deep sigh, like a deep sigh from the end of the corridor.
Good.
I would like to ready the end of my great axe for when he comes around the corner, just to bop him if I can.
Cool. He walks down, gets to the door, opens the door, sighing. He's actually drawn a short sword, but he doesn't look ready for it. He just looks, civilians.
Look what's happened. So here's the thing. Get him, boys!
And
I bop him.
Charlie, give me an attack as you bop him. You get the advantage because he was not expecting the bopping.
All right.
He was just booping along, and then he was bopped.
Ooh, a 22.
God. Damn. Okay.
And also, that's a crit for me because I am a fighter with improved crit.
Oh, you're a champion. Sweet. Okay. In which case, tell me all about how you knocked the fuck out of this guy.
I actually want to do it with the hilt of my axe, if that's all right.
No problem.
Just
No,
square,
use the blade.
square in the bridge of his nose. I want to break his nose. Just collapse it into his face, please.
So he walks in, sort of like sword drawn, very confused.
Way too easily amused.
Just fucking civilians and and he just collapses on the floor, and you entirely boop him.
I turn to the party and I say, right, so there's a portal in the ceiling that goes to nowhere. Sounds like a good spot for a god's body.
Indeed. Would you help me carry him up there? Or do it for me?
I'd love to help.
Just have a little giggle at the fact that the wizard suggested carrying a body up a rope.
Everyone in the room, you will note, does nothing to help.
I mean, we tie the rope around him, you climb up there, and you just pull the rope in and come jumping out.
Sounds like a plan. I'll attempt to climb the rope.
Should we tell them? No, don't worry about it. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
No, don't tell us.
Do I hear them say that?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of surprises, but I'd like to get this thing moving. I know there's hounds around here somewhere.
Oh, yeah. No, they're probably going to unleash the hounds on us when they find out we're breaking out.
Nope, say no more. And then I start climbing the rope.
Cool.
Up the rope I go.
So you watch as Charlie, you actually...
You as a person.
Chaldor climbs to the top and then begins to pull the rope up. And as you pull the guy through, you pull up the last of the rope, which means there's no longer anything obscuring the hole. So the portal seals. And you suddenly find yourself, there's just a sudden... I can't do that. Someone do that for me. Someone make that noise. Oh,
there we go.
the satisfaction of making just random people do that is...
And making random people...
Yeah.
I kind of look around and scratch my head and say, ugh, I hate fucking portals.
I wouldn't suggest you fucking them.
No.
And and there's a slight pause.
So I'm alone now, yes, with this man.
You are now alone.
Alone with this
with
man.
this man. However, you do see what they were in. They were in a large room. This large room is huge, spherical, and full of fucking junk in every direction, including something that is set in a dwarven bracket. That's the only way to describe it. It's like a huge swing set, and it's got loads of different things hanging from it, loads of different levers and pulleys and other bits and pieces, and it looks like there's harnesses attached to it, and it's a very odd looking contraption.
Some kind of sex swing, no doubt.
A dwarven sex swing.
No doubt.
Indeed. And other than that, like that, you can see that there's a bunch of things sort of like going on. Like there's books. There's it's like a library and an attic at the same time. There's not a lot of light here.
So the apparatus, is it moving right now?
No, there is a large set of levers that appear to be to operate this in some sort of way.
I randomly select one and pull it.
You pull the lever.
Pull the lever, Crown.
And you watch as the man is sort of grabbed around the waist and picked up and sort of secured in a harness, sort of hanging there, and he groggily comes around and just, what? As he's now suspended in the air.
This is my hairy guard friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's more levers I have not pulled yet,
There are
right?
2 more levers that you want to get.
I will
What do they do?
I will throw the next lever in the sequence, please.
Excellent.
Only one way to find out.
You throw the next lever in the sequence, and you watch as what looks like a pair of armor-plated pants, underwear, sort of slide up over his legs and lock into place around his waist, and another band sort of comes around his chest, his upper torso, and locks into place, and he just sort of looks at you like, what are you doing?
I say,
What the fuck is this place?
Is this Wallace and Gromit?
Sorry, friend, but I imagine something bad happens next, and then I pull the last lever.
You pull the last lever, and there is a sudden jolt of electricity as the whole thing comes to life, and you watch his bits, like these mechanical arms, begin to move towards him, and there's sort of like this intense build-up of light, and it becomes hard to sort of look at. And as the light sort of builds, you hear him just, no! And it gets higher and higher pitched, and then suddenly the light fades. There's a zoo, and there is now a bearded lady hanging from the
Oh god.
from the suspension, as
God,
Chad
no.
has decided that there is actually a mass sex change machine just that's been swallowed up,
Good.
and this man is now entirely
Very good.
a fat, bearded, armored lady.
Well, he's not
Who's
dead.
just sort of floundering around.
Interesting.
Okay. Like in the meantime, kind of just staying outside. I should have told him about that. And I look to Gnome. Can you cast that again? I can't.
Do I witness this, Josh?
No, unfortunately,
Good.
this is happened in a different.
I'm all alone.
Thank God.
Why, if Finbar knew, would Finbar use it?
You don't know what I'd do with power like that.
I mean, with a charisma of 5, I shouldn't.
After a few moments, there is suddenly a sound, and it's almost like a tearing sound, and you see a sort of light appear in a sort of like one aisle over through bookshelves, and you can hear a very confused individual going, "Yeah, we probably should have told him about that. The portal was only held open because we had that bit of rope sort of blocking it, stopping it from."
Right.
And you can hear this coming from the aisle next to you.
Can I just peek around the corner?
Yeah, there is now a hole in the floor, sort of the edges of which are sort of scintillating and rippling. And Pookie, you and the orc, sort of like standing off to one side that you've made friends with, see a hole just appear in the wall. And you can sort of see a very confused looking human staring back at you through the hole as Chaldor is now...
So, like, was there, like, an explosion hole, or did
No,
the
just
wall
sort of-
just crumble? It just, a hole just happened.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, a portal!
I look through the hole confused and say, Pookie?
Human?
Is that you?
That's
I think
that's him.
so.
That's the
she
virgin.
She pinches her cheeks. Yeah.
Everyone, I think I've learned how to open the portals. It seems you have to make a man become a woman.
Ah.
It's hard.
well,
It's
I
hard
could
to
take it.
explain. Just come here, and I want to throw my rope through this hole. And
Oh,
try and
okay.
tie it off to something in the room.
I immediately
Oh,
crawl out the
don't you
rope.
worry. I could tell you a story where that happens multiple times.
They the guys in the room,
Yeah.
they sigh and they just say, "Look, we were lost in that place for ages, and we just found loads of books. There's no way out."
Did you try to read the books for? and
Lo-
see if there was a way out in-
lots of. I try to climb up the the rope.
It's literally it's in the wall. It's in the wall. This one.
Oh, you just walk through.
guys
But
can walk
I still
through.
want to throw my rope through to keep it open at this
Yeah.
point. If I can.
Like,
And
just go through.
Valerian walks through, and sort of you walk out of a bookshelf into the largest room you've ever. I mean, it's probably like maybe like 25 miles across.
Whoa. As he steps out, I say, "You can read, right?"
No, I look at the pictures. You know.
Come, no time for sarcasm. Really, you can read?
Yes, I can.
Get started. You have 25 miles of reading to complete.
That's across. Let's
It-
not even. I don't even want to
he
try and
just-
conference.
He just. Never mind. I'll just kind of like through the first best bookshelf to kind of kind of go shortly scan over the titles if I see anything interesting of the
You
arcane
don't
or history.
you don't recognize the language.
It's staying down
whatever
here then.
Fuck it. Bag 1, 2, 3. I'll just take them with him.
Just start piling books.
Just kind of like three. Let's just go in, like 3 random books and just put them in there.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
It works. It works.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. So yeah, you guys have a choice. You can either try and escape this way, or you can try and escape.
They were stuck for weeks in there. I say that we try our way with the dogs.
Aye, but there's no hounds in here.
Well, yes, but there might be a eternal being lost in there, I suppose.
To be fair, they also didn't like try to get out. They just kind of waited at the entrance, right?
Right.
Also, I want to try something. Stick my head through. Use thaumaturgy to make my voice really loud and just shout, "Oi! Anyone else in here?"
There's a long sort of pause, and then you hear a voice just, "Hello."
Nope.
I pull my head back out and go, "Guys, there's someone else in there." Who are you?
Ask if he needs help.
My name is Conrad.
No, close the portal.
I pull my head out.
Close the portal. Oh God, no!
I tried to jump through the portal into the
I
cell.
stick my head and goes, "Do you know a Finbar?"
Do you know a Royce?
Close the portal, damn it!
Hello, sir. Where are you?
No.
There's a sort of like a soft, wet sound
Oh God.
as a stump-legged, beautiful female in a long, flowing purple dress comes around the corner.
I start running.
Missing her feet. They look like they've been sort of very painfully amputated. She comes around the corner and hello,
No, I'm gone.
Royce.
Good God! What
Is that you?
They need a doctor.
What?
I just look over to Finbar.
Why did he run?
If he's
What's
still
going
here.
wrong with him?
Finbar.
Kind of staring at the stumps.
So Finbar, you have done nothing wrong so far. So you actually run out into the main hall, and there are just a bunch of guards. Do you make a spectacle of this, or?
No,
You just
as
leave.
soon as I'm out, I just start walking as fast as I can. As soon as I'm out of the gates, I turn invisible, and then I run home.
He left us.
So Finbar.
A Jack
literally-
Sparrow in my escape, yeah.
And you guys are just sort of standing there around. What are you?
So he's
What
left
do
us
the
at
rest
this
of you
point.
do?
He just left.
I'm gone.
I want to
the,
know
the
where
last
Finbar's
thing
gone.
I would have said is to Pookie, save yourself. And then I'm out.
He's a little confused because she thought she was getting kidnapped. Now there's a hole with books and feetless people, and she's like, do I need to still be kidnapped? Can I go now? Like,
They shrug and they're just like, well, you don't work here, so you're not much use to us.
okay. And she's like, I'm gonna go. Bye.
Okay.
I'm only here at Finbar's behest. I shall follow.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
like,
Well, we're going to leave with you, so this is now officially a prison break.
Cool.
On the other side of the
Are we
portal-
taking the lady with us?
On the other side of the portal, Valerian, a woman falls into your arms. She's quite heavy. She's quite tall as well, despite the fact she's missing her feet.
I have a strength of 5.
Like, the modifier of 5, or your strength is
No,
actually...
my strength is 5.
Cool, she floors you in one sort of... She just lands on you and knocks you.
Oh,
to the
shit!
floor. Yeah.
Well, I try to kind of roll her off me to get back on my feet.
You pull her off, but she this large-breasted woman sort of looks at you, and very weakly, very palely, sort of claws at your lapel, grabs hold of it with quite some strength, some ferocity, and just says, "Royce, where is my Royce?"
I think somewhere outside that portal.
And like the ring, Conrad crawls through a portal hair sort of falling down as Royce can no longer hide where. Well, we'll find out where Royce is another time. But Conrad pulls herself free, and yeah, leaving bloody streaks behind her. Conrad begins to sort of go towards the door of the cell and pull herself into the corridor.
I will at this point just cast invisibility on myself just in case.
Pookie hides.
And
Roll me
just kind of
Pookie.
slowly follow her.
I want to grab the gnome that's with me
The
with
gnome-
the bottle, like,
the
and
gnome-
just kind of have him with the bottle there, just like
You grab the bottle, but you also grab a handful of the hat, and he just has like one of those drawstrings
right.
around it. He's just dangling there, just like, hello.
Okay, and I just said to him, right, we're going on a little adventure. We're going to wait.
Was that a short joke?
It wasn't, but now that you mention it. Anyway, we're going to wait for that woman to get noticed by the other guards, and then we're going to go through, and I want you to scream bloody murder. Like some weird shit's just gone down, right?
Okay.
Deal?
And
Woman
Cool.
scrolling through cell.
Okay,
Yep.
and then because I look like a guard, I'm going to pretend that I'm trying to save you. So that you can
Okay.
serve your sentence later, okay? We're going to get
Okay.
out of here because you're kind of attached to my bottle right now.
this is
And I'm
true.
not leaving that behind.
I do have a problem.
We'll figure that out later. I have a friend that you might like. He's about your height,
Been through some
but he's
darkness.
red and scaly. You'll get along great.
I
Anyway,
think it all started with my parents.
shh. Where can I go?
So yeah,
Just,
Pookie rolled a 25 on her stealth check, so I'm assuming she just disappears.
That's a 12. That's not you. That's
Th-
why.
that- that's
I was
me.
like, that's,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, you Pookie, you basically managed to slip out into the corridor where there is no one, and once you get out into the main hall, you find a dark sort of corner and hide, and you can sort of shimmy your way out of sort of like immediate sight as one person has turned, two people now have turned invisible. What is Chaldor doing?
I was trying to follow Finbar out as fast as I could. If I
Cool.
if,
What's your like when you, because Finbar pretty much starts casually walking, just but quite fast out. Do you slow down or do you just charge out?
I'm, let's say, about 50 feet behind him, trying to keep up, but looking around very nervously. I want to stop at the first guard I see and say, yes, where do you keep the hounds?
Okay, first of all, both of you roll me performance checks as you're trying to be incognito, and I just want to see this. That's for you too, Finbar.
All right. Performance, is it?
One question: does the woman go towards like the exit?
6 and a 23. Yeah, man.
So, Finbar just casually sort of, the woman is like crawled out into the cell corridor and is heading towards this hall. So Finbar just casually walks out, just like finger gunning a gun. The guy's just like, yeah. And then Chaldor walks out stands directly in the center of the room, grabs a guard by like the chest hair, pulls him close, and just yells, "Hounds!"
Where do you keep the hounds?
I just want to add on top of that, as soon as basically the woman would come in sight of the of the guards, I would like kind of scream behind her. I mean, this doesn't give me away when I'm invisible. I think, and I just scream,
Yeah,
"I'm
you
dead!"
You scream, "I'm dead."
No, undead.
Undead. Oh, okay. So yeah, Finbar, you're sort of like finger gunning your way out. and
I'm
behind
out of
you,
here.
you hear hounds being yelled, and as you sort of steal a glance back, you see Conrad pull herself around the corner, and Finbar just is gone, like through the courtyard and out through the gates.
Bye.
And Yeah, you guys sort of see that she's pulling her way out. Pookie, there is this woman sort of crawling out, and someone screams undead, and the guards begin to draw their weapons and sort of like look around, panicking. They see this crippled individual crawling forth, and they sort of approach. Some of them run. Not this is not their cup of tea, but some of them approach with weapons drawn in her direction.
Could I use? I think I need to look up the actual name. I think that was major image. Hold on. Illusory something image. Does what's the word?
Minor illusion.
Minor illusion. Yeah. Can I make that like the size of a person?
Yeah.
In that case, I would basically through
5 foot by 5 foot.
From one of the walls, just let a wraith emerge that looks to each of them, points out to one of them, just making no noise at all. Just
you watch as this guy just straight up shoots his friend with a crossbow. And he aims for the wraith and just. It's not there, so just straight through him and just impales his friend in the chest. And his friend just is sat there, sort of like looking over, confused. Realizes there's a hole through his book. Looks confused. Looks at his chest. Realizes he's dead. Falls back into bed.
Back to bed.
This is the worst prison break ever.
And
Not if you escape. Not if we escape.
Well, if you escape it, if it works, it's not stupid.
Because I have a plan.
fucking chaos kicks off. So, Finbar, you're lucky you're already out, essentially. But everyone else, I'm going to need, we're going to do this like a very quick travel mechanics. Everyone is going to choose a skill check. You can't choose a skill check given that's already been used, and explain to me how you use that skill to bust your way out of fucking a riot that's about to kick off with undead and a maimed individual crawling her way through. So let's start off with Dresden. Dresden, what are you doing? What's your plan? And what skill are you going to use?
My plan is that around the corner, before any guards actually appear, so they can see through into the new corridor, I have a few steps to my plan.
Okay.
The first step is, while none of them can see me, but they can see the archway, I'm going to cast Burning Hands, so they can just see a massive gout of fire from the hallway.
Okay.
Then Minor Illusion screaming. And then I run through looking like a guard, holding a gnome, screaming bloody murder, telling them all to leave.
Bloody murder!
Save yourselves. And just try to get as many convince them to all leave too.
A performance or a deception? It's up to you.
What's better? Deception is better. Ooh.
Roll up 15. They don't try and impede your progress, whether or not they entirely buy it, but they don't also seem to see the gnome or pay much attention to that, as you just have a very flamboyant bottle.
I'm putting that in my inventory.
And screaming, bloody murder. Yeah, you now have a gnomish sorcerer bottle. Taking it to Pookie. Pookie, you are lurking in the shadows. What is your plan to get out?
My plan is to thus continue lurking in the shadows and just, like, hopefully the sun doesn't hit me in a certain way that I start getting really shiny.
Okay, cool. Give me a stealth check to stealth your way out there. On a 13, you get the feeling people catch a glimpse of you in the shadow, but what color is Pookie?
She's silver.
So people just see a silver shimmer catching in the light, and having already seen a wraith, people panic, and a couple of them are going to shoot at Pookie.
No, not my fault.
Does a 15 hit you?
No. Wait, where's my AC? Winner loses or dies? Losers or winner, excuse me, it's a tie out of 15.
It hits.
Who wins?
Oh, it hits. Yeah. Very
Okay.
good. Yeah. So you take a 15 and a nat 20 from crossbows as these guys fucking freak out. Scary silver things moving through. So before you make it out of here, unfortunately, you're gonna take 3d6 plus, and that's actually goddamn. That's actually -2 from that. So you take 29 piercing damage.
Okay. Pookie falls out of the shadows unconscious at 0 HP. Yeah.
Pookie is shot, and you see her fall, and we turn to Valerian.
Oh god. Okay, skill. Stealth was already taken, I think.
Yep.
So he will try and go with acrobatics. Basically, he will cast reduce person on himself, cast floating disc, if possible, amplified by levitation to basically like a very small person or like a gnome on a floating disc, kind of just trying to surf around any sort of obstacle overhead and just basically outside over the wall while still invisible.
Give me the acrobatics.
I thought floating disc only trailed 20 feet behind the caster. Not to be a rules.
I think, yeah. No, you can.
He's trying to be static shock, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still cast Expeditious Retreat as well.
It's cool. It's cool. Give me that acrobatics.
Okay. Oh god. Ooh.
Oh, 18. Yeah, you Silver Surfer your way out of there, although entirely invisible.
And no one sees it. Damn it.
We finally go to. We finally turn to Chaldor. Chaldor, you have a party member down, but you have potentially got to get out of here because a riot is breaking out. What do you do?
Is Pookie fallen in kind of this main hall area? Do I see her in my path to the exit?
You've got one chance.
I want to intimidate my way out. I will draw my great axe and scowl and scream as I storm towards her body.
Cool. Roll me an intimidation as you try to clear people away from where they look like they're going over to secure her. And thus deciding you try to, but unfortunately they push you back and out, and you are forced out into the courtyard, and against overwhelming odds, forced from the fort as the doors slam shut. The party escapes, but Pookie is now at the mercy of a prison to the northwest in the Dwarven Fortress, and I'm sure Finbar will be having to mount a rescue operation.
Yet again.
Dearly beloved. But that's all we've got time for tonight, because unfortunately we had a bit of I had a bit of problem. We've had a bit of a long night, or a very short
Yeah.
night, unfortunately.
It is fun nonetheless.
Even the chair gave up.
Yes.
The chair was tired today.
So yeah, I'm not going to do as we've got a bit short for time. I'm just going to say that it was lovely playing with you guys, and
Absolutely.
you can catch me here
Fantastic.
Tuesdays and Thursdays for loads of encounter stuff, and keep your eye out for all things Turncloak. And if you haven't already, follow Turncloak Pod.
Yes, Turncloak's Pod. There you go. Thank you guys.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure that tweet's got over 50.
It has, which means that this Monday 14th, we're going to be launching and releasing an episode of Turncloaks early into the wilds for you guys to listen to, the origin stories that'll involve Josh and Toolschool's characters. So look forward to that. I'm certainly really looking forward to you guys getting to listen to it. I've been excited and recording plenty of sessions of it. But thank you guys so much for coming along today. Yes, the adventures of Conrad and Pookie, I'm sure will continue next week. I'll be back again on Monday, which is a weekly Necromancer stream going from the 14th to the 24th, and it's going to be 9 hours of D&D and RPGs every single day in the kind of run-up to our channel relaunch, which is on September 4th, with lots of exciting announcements and things going on throughout. If you want to not miss the event, I mean, it is a long running event, of course, so it's going to be difficult to miss it. But I will link you guys here where you can find the event, and then you'll get notifications when it goes live on Monday. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to the players going on playing. It was a lot of fun. Let's quickly whip around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find one another online? And let's start with Jamie.
Oh, today was fun. This is always a fun game, even when chairs work as they should. It's always fun playing Dresden because he always gets nat 20s on weird things that seem to be the best possible outcome. And collecting small creatures. First it was Brian. And now it is the best bottle cozy, I think, is probably the best way of putting it. Him and Brian have to meet and start a business together. I'm just going to put them together. That is Dresden's
leave them in a
only goal now. It's just them two together forever. And just knowing that he did that is going to be his legacy. But yeah, today was great. You can catch me here, there, and everywhere. A little bit on Twitter. Sometimes on my friend Susie's channel on Mondays and every other Wednesday. But also on here on Thursdays. This is a Thursday. Earlier today. Speaking of that game, next week, if I'm right, is the last session for that.
It is the finale of Excavation
If you
Tavern.
want to see the finale of me playing a catman who shoots a bow, I might make it a weird one, personally. I might just, I don't need to do that. The chat is there. I might try and be normal.
Yeah, that never works well.
There's a threat.
Never goes well.
But yeah,
fantastic.
that's me.
Awesome. Pale Lord.
Well, it was absolutely fantastic. Rarely have that much fun in a one-shot, for my personally. And we'll see how Valerian uses those stolen books and memories of how he managed to incite a riot that might haunt him some while. But anyway, I can be found on Twitter under the Pale Lord. It's pretty much everywhere. Unless you're in one of my one-shot games, I'm not really much of a public person, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I am planning to do some more one-shots in the future.
Nice.
So
get in touch. Fantastic. Val.
Hey, great time. Always a great time, guys. Okay, so this month on my channel, I am actually meeting all of my subs with donations to the Extra Life campaign. And if you guys don't know what Extra Life is, it's a organization here in North America, United States, and Canada. It's connected to the Children's Miracle Network, and on November 4th, we do 24-hour streams to raise money to help sick kids. And I'm just kind of getting started a little bit early. So if you're interested in that, I got the link to my channel and the link to Extra Life if you just want to do a direct donation to save kids with cancer and stuff.
Fantastic. Great cause. Charlie.
Hey, I had a fucking splendid time. I feel honored to be on Encounter Roleplay today. I'd like to think that years from now, Chaldor will be somewhere drinking in a tavern and he'll remember the man that he left in a sex change machine, just dangling to die.
You never released him.
But
Yes,
I never released him, indeed. Anyway, I do a lot of stuff. I do run a DIY record label in Gainesville, Florida. Check out Coolicide, Florida, and all the bands we produce. Check out my channel. I do D&D every other Monday with members of Cave Comedy Radio and the Wizard and the Bruiser podcast. We have a Ghostbusters theme campaign called Wraithbusters, so come check that out. It's usually at night, too, so it's usually after the Encounter Roleplay stuff kind of wraps up. So
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me, guys. Check out my channel.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Go give these guys some follows. Go give them some love. And of course, we're off from the stream, scheduled streams at least, in case, always keep it open in case I've got anything else planned. But yes, we're building up to our very big week, big 10 days coming up at 9 hours every single day of Dungeons & Dragons and other RPGs as well. So look forward to that. And of course, Monday is when we release our first episode of Turncloaks. Hopefully you guys are fucking hyped hyped. I know I am. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the follows still going through and all donations today as well, even those that helped the evil DMs. I appreciate it, guys. And yeah. In the meantime, there'll be YouTube videos, there'll be articles on the website, and we'll be hanging out in Discord. So stick around for that, and we'll see you guys soon. Until then, my friends, try not to roll too many nat ones, because we want to be laughing when you do. Good night, everybody, and farewell.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night.